Chapter 4 of Flowers from the Garden of Saint Francis for every day of the year. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Chapter 4, Month of April. First day. Saint Francis said, "I conjure the brother who is visited by illness to desire only what God wills, be that sickness or health, because He wishes to form those He has predestined by trials, sickness, and misfortunes." Second day. Blessed Egidius said, "Man will have to render an account even of those graces he has not had, because if he worked with the grace which had been given to him, he would have obtained others which he has not received." Third day. Saint Francis said, "It is much more dangerous to make an abuse of virtue than not to possess it." Fourth day. Saint Francis said, "I expressly desire my brethren never to judge or despise those persons they see clothed finely and delicately, and who live daintily, but rather let each one judge and despise himself." Fifth day. Blessed Egidius said, "Blessed are they who have always before their eyes their own sins and the benefits of God, and who bear with patience every sorrow and affliction. They will draw therefrom much consolation." Sixth day. St. Bridget said, "The really wise man is he who studies every day how to die well, who considers frequently the condition in which he will find himself at the hour of death, and the terrible judgment which will follow when each action of his life will undergo a rigid scrutiny, and no fault will pass unpunished." Seventh day. St. Francis said, "Happy he who is not anxious to excuse himself, who receives simply blame and humiliation, even for an involuntary fault." Eighth day. Blessed Angela of Foligno said, "The more a soul is afflicted, humbled, and despised, the more is she purified, elevated, and made capable of divine communications. For the degree of elevation corresponds always to the degree of humiliation." Ninth day. St. Francis said, "We should despise our bodies because our misfortune and corruption are from ourselves." Tenth day. St. Joseph of Cupertino said, "In general, God regulates His way of acting by ours. If we are faithful to Him, He will be faithful to us. If we love Him, He will love us. If we show ourselves hostile to Him, He will be hostile to us. God has thus placed within ourselves the measure of what He will be to us." 11th day. Blessed Egidius said, "Mental prayer is the commencement and completion of every good work, because it enlightens the soul and enables her to distinguish between good and evil. He who knows not how to pray knows not God." 12th day. Blessed Egidius said, "God and His saints honour and accept with eagerness what worldlings despise and reject. All that is worthy of love, the worldly minded hate, while they esteem all that is worthy of contempt." 13th day. St. Bonaventure said, "It is by the road of humiliation we reach humility." Let the Christian never blush, then, to embrace practices of humility. Let him not put away from him humbling occupations, and never let him try to magnify by his praise the employment with which he is charged. 14th day. St. Francis said, "I earnestly advise all you who are my masters to renounce all preoccupation about things of the earth, and to receive with good dispositions the body and blood of our Lord, which He has left us in memory of Him. 15th Day. Saint Francis said: "The rule which is proposed to us is for us the book of life, the hope of salvation, the promise of glory, the marrow of the Gospel, the way of the cross, true perfection, the key of paradise, the contract of the eternal nuptials." 16th Day. Blessed Angela of Foligno said: "I know of nothing in the world which requires so much caution as love, because it is in the nature of this passion to penetrate the soul, and to possess all its faculties. Thus the soul finds itself easily drawn away and plunged into the most deplorable disorders." 17th Day. Blessed James of Todi said: "Man ought to consider himself as a thing so vile and abject that in his own estimation his society is a burden to all, and that he merits to be despised by all. From these considerations will spring true humility and patience with the faults of others." 18th Day. St. Elzéar Tertiary said: "It is much safer and far easier to refuse all presents than to know those which we may accept without danger. It is not easy, when once we have begun to accept presents, to know when to refuse." 19th Day. St. Francis said: "I have no longer any eyes for creatures. My soul cries unceasingly to God its Creator. Neither heaven nor earth possesses anything which has any sweetness for me. All has faded away before the love of Christ." 20th Day. St. Angela Merici said: "The surest means of salvation is to do each day of our lives what we should wish to have done at the hour of our death." 21st Day. St. Joseph of Cupertino said: "Men are accustomed to form plans, and then afflict themselves when these fail. Oh, how much more legitimate would their affliction be if it arose from a sense of their own sinfulness." 22nd Day. St. Francis said: "Be always patient and well disposed. If one of your brothers offend you in any way, offer to God the pain you experience. By this mark I shall know if you are the true servants of our Divine Master, if you bring back sweetly to God the brother who has wandered from Him, and if you still continue to love one who has rendered himself very guilty." 23rd Day. St. Francis said: "Happy the one who respects as he should the priests who live according to the laws of the Holy Roman Church, and woe to those who despise them." 24th Day. St. Francis said: "There is between the world and our brethren a kind of contract. The latter gives to the world good examples, and it in return owes to them the means wherewith to live." 25th Day. St. Francis said: "Never praise a man before his death, because you never can tell how he will end. Were God to take from me the treasures of His grace, which He has lent me till now, what would remain to me but a soul and body, which an infidel possesses in common with a Christian?" 26th Day. St. Francis said: "As wax disappears before the fire, and as dust is scattered by the wind, so the entire army of evil spirits flee away at the simple invocation of the name of Mary." 27th Day. Venerable Mary Cherubina said: "Why do we not satisfy the loving desires of our dear Lord? He asks so little of us. Only fidelity to those promises made to Him so solemnly in holy baptism." 28th Day. St. Francis said: "No one can acquire any virtue unless he begins by dying to himself. 29th day, Saint Francis said: "Happy he who, when he is honoured and esteemed by men, thinks no more of himself than when he was humbled and despised, because man is what he appears to the eyes of God, and nothing more." 30th day, Saint Francis said: "Man renounces all that he possesses when by obedience he places himself entirely in the hands of his Superior, and everything that he shall do or say in accordance with his will, provided it be nothing wrong in itself, is an act of true obedience." End of chapter 4.